Welcome to the Tarrasque. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got 3 lands, and this is good. I'd like to see some ramp with Tarrasque, so let's go and mulligan on this one just to be a little bit aggressive. I kind of like that, and we can Green Sun Zenith for a Mana Dork if we wanted to. Yeah, well, I guess we'll keep on this one because we don't really want to go past 6. So let's go and put Ghost Corner on the bottom. Let's go and click OK. Let's go and lead off with Forest, and then anything else, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, welcome to the Tarrasque, and we've got the bowling ball commander that we just drop onto the battlefield and have some fun with, which I very much enjoy. So let's go and drop in Forest, and we can Green Sun Zenith for, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. Let's go and Green Sun Zenith for 1. Let's go and grab ourselves a Mana Dork. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. That way it can be on 3 and then for 4. And let's go grab a trusty, well, I guess we can grab Tree Speaker. Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab Tree Speaker. And then anything else, we will go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Okay, and then Tarrasque has Hasten Ward. Sorry, I had to run and grab something real quick, and then I knocked over my light and like an arm stand on my desk, and it was just kind of got nutty for a second. But anyway, we're back at it, so we'll cover the Tarrasque in just a second. So let's go and make the land drop for the turn. This is going to be Forest. Let's go and level up a Tree Speaker, and then we have nothing else that we can do. We'll go for Nissa for next turn. Maybe we can end up with a quick Tarrasque. So anything else? Yeah, let's go and get in for 1. Why not? Let's go. Go Tree Speaker. We can knock our opponent down to 39. And then we'll get started on our commanders. Yeah, I left where I record, there's an air conditioning unit in there, and I left it on, and I heard it kick on, and it always kind of picks up on the mic, so I ran to go turn it off real quick. And when I sat back down, I knocked over my spell table ring light off of my desk, and then knocked my second monitor out of whack. But anyway, we're back at it. Let's do it. So anyway, we're playing the Tarrasque. The Tarrasque has haste and ward for 10 as long as it was cast. Then whenever it attacks, it fights target creature defending player controls. Playing against Tymna and Sakashima. So this should be a pretty interesting match. So this can be Tymna and the Weaver entering the battlefield. So we'll go and cover that. And actually, they'll probably just end up passing the turn. So we'll cover their partner commanders in just a second. But we are looking at least getting down Nissa for next turn. We might end up going for the +1. We'll kind of see what we got going on. So let's go and make the land drop for the turn. Let's go ahead and drop in Nissa. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that'll still give us some extra mana for Elvish Mystic. And if we wanted to, so with Nissa, yeah, we get to untap it. So let's go and tap down 2. Let's get Elvish Mystic down. And then let's go and turn one of our forests into a creature. You know, if they do have the option to get rid of one of our creatures, so be it. But let's go ahead and untap this forest, put 3+1 counters on it. That way it does stop Tymna from swinging in. It does kind of force them to have some sort of answer as far as, you know, at least getting rid of this, or we can at least keep Tymna at bay, which is going to be a very good option. So let's go for the Nissa +1 ability. Tick Nissa up to 6, and I think at this point we'll probably end up doing is simply passing the turn. That way we have a blocker. But we should be online for the Tarrasque next turn. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with Elvish Mystic. Yeah, I kind of like that. And then anything else will pass the turn. But yes, it's one of the nice things about playing a Tarrasque deck. You have a ramp deck, is that if you don't really have a whole lot of action, we've got 2 forests in the hands. We can have this big, hasty 10/10 creature come screaming down and have some fun with it. So, but let's cover our opponent's commander. So we're playing against Tymna the Weaver. At the beginning, lifelink, then at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you may pay X life, or X is the number of opponents that were dealt combat damage this turn. If you do, draw X cards. Playing also against Sakashima, you may have Sakashima enter the battlefield as a copy of another creature you control, except it's Sakashima, it has Sakashima's other abilities. Then also, the legend rule does not apply to permanents that you control. And that is going to be a damnation. All right, that's going to get it on that one. We still have 8 with Nissa, which is going to work out. So we can get that extra ability. And we still got another forest to drop. So worst case scenario, we're going to have some sort of threat come down. Ooh, Sylvan Awakening. That is nice, but not the best thing. And do we still want to end up going for the plus on Nissa to get a 3/3 out there? We kind of want to hold on to Sylvan Awakening, so we can go for the -8 eventually. Yeah, let's go and do that. Why not? Let's have some fun. Let's go and plus up on this forest. Let's go and swing in for a 3/3. At the very least, next turn, we can tap out for the Tarrasque, and we'll still end up having pretty sizable threat swinging across for next turn. Yeah, I kind of like that. So anything else, let's go ahead and pass the turn over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, TCG Player. If you go to bit.ly/JoltMTG, that will apply my affiliate link. That'll allow you to get some cards and help support the channel at the same time. So if you use that link, much obliged. I certainly appreciate it. So give a quick shout out to MTGOTraders. Also, let's give a quick shout out to ingaming.com/Jolt. And last but not least, I started a Patreon, which Venser can target a... Actually, they're going to send this back to the hand. Okay. Totally understandable. But yeah, if you'd like to support cool content like this, there's a link down in the description below. But if you're keeping score at home, it is officially free time, so let's have some fun. Now, what we've seen so far from our opponent's Tymna deck with Sakashima is it appears to be some Esper control. We got Demonic Tutor, we got Venser sending Nissa back to the hand. We'll see what we can get moving. We really don't have a lot of action in our hand. You know, Sylvan Awakening is definitely... I love Sylvan Awakening. If you're not running it in a mono green deck, I highly recommend it. There's a lot of times where, you know, right now it's not that good, but, you know, if you have a normal mono green game where you get your elves out there and you're ramping really quick, just being able to turn all of your lands into 2/2 creatures with Indestructible, it's always a very good feeling. So let's go and drop in Forest, and they might have gone for another... Yeah, because we can untap them. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's go Nissa, and what we're going to do is... Well, that'll be us getting rid of another land if they ended up going for another board wipe. Yeah, we can give it a shot. Why not? All right, let's go and pump up the Forest. And let's go ahead and drop in Miri's Guile. Okay, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So they did go Demonic Tutor. So we'll see if that's another board wipe. More than likely it might be. And if that is the case, then that might put us in a very, very bad spot. But if we're trying to be aggressive with this, we're trying to get the Tarrasque down, I kind of like this. At the very least, if they do have another board wipe, at least we do have Miri's Guile to look at the top part of our library. But let's see what this spell is going to be. Might be playing into another board wipe. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see if they tap down for 6. That's going to be Garuda. Enters the battlefield. Each player mills 4 cards. Put a creature with an even mana value onto the battlefield under your control. All right, so it looks like our opponent did whiff on both of those. So we got Venser swinging in at Nissa. It's going to drop Nissa down to 4. And now we've got a Miri's Guile trigger. Yeah, we'll definitely use that ability. And we got pretty lucky on that one. So do we want any of these? I guess at this point we could Ghost Quarter, but that's going to give them another land. I think at this point we just want another Forest. I think that sounds pretty good. So let's go Thran Dynamo. Let's go Ghost Quarter. And let's put Forest on top. So let's go and draw into that Forest. Let's drop in the Forest. And so we've got Nissa that can plus up on another creature. Yeah, I think I kind of like going for the Tarrasque. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be... We still have to tap down one of our creatures. So let's drop in Tarrasque. And we can go for the +1 if we wanted to Well, it's not going to untap our lands. Let's do this. Let's just go and push in with Tarrasque. Yeah, I kind of like this. All right, so let's go and click OK. We're going to lose that little bit of extra mana. Let's go and push in with the Tarrasque. It's going to be 10, and we're also going to be able to attack, fight that sea creature out there. This is some good magic right here. All right, so we're going to fight that creature. We're going to get in for 10. That will be 10 total commander damage, dropping down to 22. And then anything else. We still have the Nissa ability, but we didn't see a board wipe from our opponent. Yeah, why not? Let's go and go for it. All right, so let's go on to tap Forest. It's going to turn into another 3/3, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn. So if we do end up having another Nissa trigger for next turn, we can turn it into a 3/3 creature. Because we've got 19 points of damage. So another 3/3, that'll make 22. That'll be just enough. That'll have them holding on to Venser if they want to get rid of that, or if they want to end up chump blocking on that. But let's see what this is going to be. It could be... Destroy all creatures. All right, so that's going to get it on that one. Yes, we'll return myself back to the command zone, send the Tarrasque back, and then that was another board wipe. So kind of figured we were playing into that, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. All right, so we still know what's on top. We at least know Ghost Quarter's on top, and we do know that Thran Dynamo's on top. And that is going to be a Gilded Lotus, which we can still get Gilded Lotus down. I think that might end up working out, because it'll be 1, 2, 3... But we still will end up having lands for Sylvan Awakening. So let's do this. Let's go Thran Dynamo, let's go Gilded Lotus, and let's put Ghost Quarter on top. Let's get Ghost Quarter down. Let's go Ghost Quarter plus up, that's going to turn it into a 3/3. And then that's going to make it a 6. But yeah, and then we'll still go and swing in for a 3. Just kind of chip away at their life total. All right, so swinging in for 3, that's going to drop it down to 19. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, as far as Tarrasque, the rest of the stuff in here, this is just mono green ramp, mono green good stuff. We have a very heavy reliance on the elves in here. If you never built mono green, you can pretty much just always run it some sort of elf package in there because it's always going to help you out in early game ramping. And is this another board wipe? Let's see. They will be tapping down for 5. That's going to be Shroom, the Hegemon. Okay. So you may return target artifact from your graveyard to the battlefield, and it looks like they're going to whiff on that one, so that's not going to be available to them. And then that'll work out to us. But yeah, just got mono green good stuff. We got Crater Hoof in here. We did see Azuri's Predation, which that is always a ton of fun to go for into the late game. We'll definitely use Mary's Guile. That's going to be Guruk Wildspeaker. Yeah, I think at this point, I kind of like getting Wildspeaker going. So let's go Thran, Gilded, and we'll go for a Guruk Wildspeaker. Because it's basically just going to be a free spell. So let's go and tap down 2. Let's go Guruk Wildspeaker. Let's go +1, untap 2 Forest. And then I'm trying to figure out if we can sequence a Sylvan Awakening at some point. And if we've run through some board wipes, I still think we just end up going for our lands because these are going to give us creatures. And at the very least, we've got that -4 next turn to get some good trample damage, so we can try to do something with that. Anything else? No, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. I mean, we could try to get him for 3, knock him down to 16, but I'd like to have as many creatures available to us as possible. So, but yeah, you can see in this mono green deck, even though we didn't get off to that crazy of a start, we don't have a ton of lands out there. We've got hit by some board wipes. We're still creating a decent amount of pressure on our opponent. It'd be nice if we could get a few more lands down, or at least hit something like Cultivate to shuffle up the top part of our library. But we shall see. All right, so our opponent's got Shroom. Let's see how they decide to swing in. All right, so they do decide to swing in at Nissa. That will knock Nissa down to 2 loyalty, but for the most part, we just need that double forest mana right now. And that still gives us access to the Guruk Stampede while, that +3/+3 trample effect. I'm trying to figure out if we can sequence it to where we still get Sylvan Awakening going. Possibly. Let's see. All right, let's see what our opponent's tapping out for. And that's going to be Sakashima. And that will become a copy. Is it any creature? Yes, it's just going to be a copy of Shroom, which is going to be a 5/5. So let's see. I don't know if we're going to have enough because that's going to be basically 3 attackers swinging in, 4 with the Stampede, possibly. We'll see. Okay, so let's get this Mary's Guile trigger going. And yes, we will definitely use that ability. And that's going to be Priest of Titania, Gilded Lotus, and that. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess we'll put Priest on top because we just want to have creatures at this point, or if we end up going Gilded Lotus, I guess Thran and Gilded kind of end up doing the same. So let's do it like this. Go Gilded, Priest of Titania, we'll put Thran Dynamo on top of our library. So if we end up going tapping down 2, that's going to make it a 3/3 creature. And then we can go for the +1. Now, I'm going to take a second to kind of look at this. Okay, so we go for the Nissa +1 on one of the forests. It's going to turn it into a creature, a 3/3 creature. We end up going Sylvan Awakening. That's going to make it 5/5s. Let's end up going for the -4. That's going to be 8, 16, 24. Let's go and click OK. Let's see if they have any sort of answer on this. Might be able to get it on this one. We'll see, because they're going to have Reach, Indestructible, Trample. And they can stop 4 of it, which should be just enough. They can go for the -2. They have Castle, which is not really going to do much, but I think we might be able to get it on this one. So they're going to prevent 2 damage that happens to that creature. But 8, 16, 24, -5, that's going to be... I think that might be enough. Let's see. They did go for the Castle activation. All right, there we go. Knock them down to 0. Just enough. All right, so we're able to fight through a bunch of board wipes. I wasn't sure if we had it with Guruk Wildspeaker and Sylvan Awakening, but we're able to get it done. One of the nice things about Sylvan Awakening is that we turned them into base creatures 2/2. And so that pumped them up to 5/5. And then once we go for the minus ability with Guruk, we're able to knock it all the way down to 0. So we're even able to get in a nice little swing at the Tarrasque to knock away their life total. And think we got in a little tree speaker action to help us get that, get it down to 0. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.